Hello and welcome to today's live lesson. Uh, Welcome to AM Language. I hope you're all doing well. I can't see the live chat thing up yet. I don't know why. Because I can't write if the live chat thing isn't there. I'm sure it'll come up in a bit. If you guys can write, please do. Just to let me know. I don't know why that isn't popping up, but I have my phone as a backup just in case. Let's see here what happens. Can I write on my phone? Suppose that's the real question. Okay, right. So it's not working on my computer, but I can see that it's working anyway for you guys. So I'm going to write on my mobile phone today. I don't know why I can't write on my laptop. And there's a lot of you as well. So Sandra, good afternoon, guten Tag, welcome to today's lesson. Alida, buenos dias from where you are in the world. Bruno Akada, good afternoon, konnichiwa and obrigado. Leondina, buono pomeriggio. Arena F, hello, privyet. LVS.com, buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, because you are in Malta, I think. Good afternoon. I am well. Thank you for asking. Evelina says, hi, Richard. Good afternoon. Buon pomeriggio. Good afternoon, Evelina. Alida says, sorry that she couldn't make it yesterday because she asked for that particular lesson. Not to worry, Alida. Thank you very much for your comments as well on that lesson. What I would say is that today is future forms. So we are going to look at more things to do with the future. So we're going to have a look at quite a few things today regarding the future forms. We're going to probably look at, now the subject is going to be plans and predictions, or things that we predict, which I will explain. And we're probably going to look at maybe about maybe 3 to 4 different grammar points that we need to know about when we are talking about the future. If you're watching this later, don't bother fast forwarding because we're going to get into it fairly quickly. It is afternoon though, so I do have a cup of tea. So let me just show you what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at, okay, so we're going to look at the present continuous. Gosh, writing on my phone is not as quick as writing on the laptop. So we're going to look at the present continuous. We're going to look at the future simple, and we're going to look at the future continuous as well. However, continuous, okay. However, we're first going to look at one particular grammar point to do with the present continuous, which is you've got two types of the present, two forms of the present continuous where you're talking about the future. Now, we looked at both. I didn't specify which one we were looking at yesterday, so we put them into the same category. And the way we looked at it yesterday was probably more at like a B1 level. I'm just going to introduce to you something that you would learn at a B2 level, more likely anyway. You might learn it at intermediate, but definitely by B2 up intermediate, it's something you would know. Pre-intermediate, very unlikely, but it's this. You would have, so present continuous. I'm just going to give you an example here. So we've got the present continuous. For instance, I am going home. I'm going home at midday. Okay, so midday, by the way, just in case you don't know, it's 12 p.m. It's just before lunch, okay? And that would be your standard present continuous. However, you've got this be going to plus infinitive that we just need to have a look at. Plus infinitive. There we go. Plus infinitive, such as let's go with I'm going to go home in a bit. Okay. Now, the difference between these two things is that the be going to plus infinitive is weaker. And that's the thing I want to make absolutely clear. The present continuous is, as we discussed yesterday, it's certainty, it's 100%. When you add the be going to plus infinitive, it weakens it. So even though it has the structure of a present continuous, because you've introduced the infinitive form, it makes it weaker. So it's no longer necessarily that you have bought the ticket. We would say the be going to, okay, the be going to plus infinitive, okay, is you can talk about plans, you can talk about the future, that's fine, but it's not 100%. You have not bought the ticket, okay? And that's the important thing. It's not 100%. It's weaker. It's not as strong as your standard present continuous. So it's not 100%. It might be 90% for all you know, but that's the most important thing. So when you add the infinitive in your present continuous, you do make it weaker. You haven't bought the ticket. So that's the first two things that we need to know about. Now, what do we mean by the future simple? Now, as I said yesterday, the future simple, technically, you only have two tenses in English. The future simple is kind of like we call it the future simple, we call it the future continuous, but it's actually more to do with future modality, which is to do with your modal verbs. Now, again, I'm trying to play the game here between low levels and high levels. Some of this stuff you don't learn at low levels. Some of these things you will learn at low levels. And I do want the low levels to be able to follow today. But simply put, when we talk about the future simple, we're going to be thinking of will. Okay, now we looked at this yesterday. So I will go home after work, for example. Now, usually you might think, oh, that's surely 100%. We need to remember, depending on context, will can have anything from 90 to 100% certainty. So it's not always, and I think this is probably a better way of looking at it, will is not always 100%. It's sometimes 95 or 90%. So it does change. It's not 100% like the present continuous. So you might not have actually bought the ticket. And I think that's an important thing. If you're going to use will, let's go with the idea you have not bought your ticket. You haven't bought your train ticket or your flight. You're still talking about this is what you want to do. Okay, and then finally, what's really important here, when we look at the future continuous, we are talking about a future action that is going to be ongoing, but you need your will plus, and this is really important, you need be plus your, I can't forget the plus signs there, plus your verb ing form. So this is how you end up saying, for instance, I will be, yeah, I will be studying later, for example. I will be studying later. You've got that form. So that's the structure that we need to be thinking out. We need to be thinking about. Now, is saying I will be studying later as strong as I'm going to be studying later? Um, or is it as strong as saying I'm studying later? Well, if you go with the present continuous, I'm studying later, that's 100%. That's always going to be the case. If you say I will be studying later, well, I would say most of the time okay, it's going to be somewhere between 90 and 100%. It depends on who is saying it, how they've said it. There's a lot of things that we need to think about. The important thing is if the person uses the present continuous, that's 100%. If they use will, it doesn't mean it's 100%, and that's the important thing. Now, let's look at the next two things. We need to understand the difference between plans and predictions, okay? So I'm going to come up with some predictions. Predictions, okay? Now, we all know what plans are, but when we think about predictions, okay, we are talking about simple terms, what we think will or is going to happen. So we're not talking about plans. This is different. It would be like we're going to say, I think, to give you a very simple answer, I think Manchester United will win the Premier League, for example. That would be a prediction. It's not a plan. So we need to know that there's a difference here. So let's start off. I'm going to write some sentences, and you guys need to try and tell me what the category is. And there's going to be two categories. First, you need to tell me the grammar structure, and you need to tell me if it's a plan or prediction. Okay, so let's just start off by seeing if we can understand what we're looking at rather than just being able to create it. So let's start off there. So let's go with this. This is going to be sentence A. Sentence A, I'm going to watch the game after work. B, I'm meeting my brother for a drink. C, I will be working late. D, Liverpool won't win the title. And let's go with A, B, C, D, E. No, that's not clear enough. 1 second. She She will be here on time. Okay, so you've got A, B, C, D, E. Let me know what, going back to the top, you need to tell me what type of grammar structure it is, and you need to tell me if it's a plan or a prediction. If you want to include the percentage, you can do. So you've got A, I think, so you got A, I'm going to watch the game after work. B, I'm meeting my brother for a drink. C, I will be working late. D, Liverpool won't win the league. And E, she will be here on time. Okay, so tell me which one for instance, tell me if it's A, just write A and then tell me what's the grammar structure and is it a plan or a prediction? Now, when I say plan, maybe it's something to do with a plan. It's an idea about a plan. Is it related to a plan? If you want to tell me like the percentage of how likely that plan is going to happen, you can do. So Bruno Akada says A is a prediction, B is a prediction, C is a plan, D is a prediction, E is a plan. Okay, let's see if you guys agree. Let's see if you guys agree with Bruno Okada. Do you agree with Bruno Okada? Let's see. Do you guys agree with Bruno Okada? So Bruno thinks A is a prediction, B is a prediction, C is a plan, D is a prediction, E is a plan. Leondina has said A is present continuous and it's a plan. B is present continuous and it's a plan. C is future continuous and a plan. D is future simple and a prediction. And E is future simple and a prediction. Okay, so very different answers. Very different answers here to Bruno. Let's see if a third or fourth person can come in. We've got a good number as well today watching. So let's see if more, if we have more students come in with their answers. Oh, I've just realized something. I better anticipate for the possibility of my phone running out of battery, which would really be unfortunate. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Sandra has said A is a plan, B is a plan, C is a prediction, D is a prediction, and E is a prediction. Okay, so we really are we're not agreeing with one another today. We've got 3 different answers already. We've got 3 different answers. We might need a 4th person really to come in here. So let's just go through this again. I'm going to watch the game later. So Sandra thinks it's a plan. Leodina thinks it's a plan. Bruno thinks it's a prediction. B, I'm meeting my brother for a drink. Bruno thinks it's a prediction. Leodina thinks it's a plan. And Sandra agrees that it's a plan. C, I will be working late. Sandra thinks this is a prediction. Leodina thinks that this is a plan, and Bruno thinks it's a plan. D, Liverpool won't win the title. All of you have said this is a prediction. And finally, E, she will be here on time. Bruno thinks it's a plan. Leondina and Sandra thinks it's a prediction. So let me tell you what the correct answers are. So we got A. Okay, this is a plan. And if we want to be specific, this is my intended plan. Okay, this is my intended plan. My plan is to go I'm going to watch the game after work. So this is my intended plan. This is what I want to do. Not quite as strong as the second one, which is I'm meeting my brother. And this is definitely a plan. And this is, of course, a present continuous. So the first two are present. So you've got present continuous, and this is a plan as well. The first one, by the way, I didn't write what the grammar structure is. This is a form of the present continuous, but this is be going to plus infinitive to be exact. Now, C, we've got I will be working late. I will be working late. Context is going to matter here without question, but let's look at this. Okay, first of all, I will be working late. It's a future continuous. Continuous. Now, when you say I'm going to be working late, the answer to this one is actually twofold. One, it's definitely got, it could easily be a prediction. I'm going to be working late today. Look at the amount of work I have to do. So it could easily be a prediction. The alternative is an intended plan, not a full-on plan. I mean, if we're talking about this in relation to a plan, this is a weak. This is still quite weak. This is definitely 90%. This is not 100% certain. So it could be both, and that's the answer to C. The future continuous here, it could be a prediction or it could be a plan. I will be working late. That's the plan because of the amount of work I have to do. Or look at all this work. I will be working late. So it could be a plan. It could be part of the plan, or it could be a prediction. So that one could be both. I'm not going to say either one is particularly wrong on that one, but it's don't think it's 100%, and that's the important thing here. It's not 100%. It's not the same as I'm going to be working late. D, what did we say D was? Oh yeah, D. Yeah, D is a full-on prediction. No questions about that. Prediction, and of course, when we look at it, it's Liverpool won't win the title. That's a future simple. And finally, E, she will be here on time. This is actually pretty much a prediction. I'm predicting that she will be here on time. Okay, great. So we're now off to we've got off to this start. Now, let's look at the next thing. So we're now going to try and fill in the correct, we need to try and fill in the correct sentences here. We need to think carefully. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean by what I'm going to do here for you guys. I'm not going to complete a sentence. So, for instance, she, and then I'm going to put blank in, okay? And then a new car, okay? And then in brackets, I'm going to put present continuous, present continuous, 100%. Okay, so you will see this sentence. She blank a new car, present continuous. You need to think of a verb, and you need to try and put that verb there. That's going to complete the sentence with the meaning 100%. In this case, it would be she is buying a new car. Now, if I then put in something like this, for example, I'll do the same one again just to show you the difference so we know exactly what we're looking at here. New car. Okay, I'm going to go with be going to plus infinitive. Not 100%. If I put this in brackets, you then need to write, she is going to buy a new car. So that would be the answer. So look very carefully. We're building this up in stages because I do want people of all levels to be able to follow. So Alida, yes, that is correct in this case. Okay, so some of you, even before I managed to finish, you started to put in the answers. So, like I said, now I've chosen these two things here. If I want you to use a straight up present continuous 100%, it means I want you to use the verb to be plus your main verb in the ing form. If I want you to use the infinitive, I'm going to tell you be going to plus infinitive, not 100%. Okay, so let's go with the first one. Okay, so now I'm going to name it 1. Okay, so he exams. Okay, so let's start off with this. Continuous, and we're going to go with 100% for this one. So this is number 1. Once I've posted, go for it. Number 2. Okay. There we go. I think that's the best way to put it. Okay. Alida is setting for his exams. Ooh, Alida, for this one, think of a different verb. I know what you're going for there, but it's not going to work for that one. He is setting. You would say he is sitting. He is sitting. You would go with sitting, but you would have to. I see what you're going for there, and it could just be a typo. Is going to pass. He is going to pass. Number 1, no, Sandra, we're not going to be able to use he is going to pass for his exams. That's not going to work. One of the reasons is that pass for, it's not going to work. The preposition for after pass isn't going to work. And be very careful. I've asked for 100%. I haven't put in be going to plus infinitive. So be careful there. He is studying for his exams. Yeah, that works. Sitting for his exams, that would work as well. Okay, number 3. One second. Okay, number 3. Bruno says he's ready for his exams. Yes, that works, but It doesn't work for that particular answer because we need the continuous. We need the continuous form. So ready isn't going to work because then that is just as present simple, not a present continuous. Two, so let's see. Alida has said for two, she will sell her house. That is correct. Leondina, he is studying for his exams. Yes, that works. Alida, he is sitting for his exams. Yes, that's going to work. Will Sandra says for two, will sell. Leondina agrees, will sell. That is correct. Okay, good. Well done, guys. You answered number three, and I'm going to put number four up. Okay, number three. Let's see, Sandra and okay. So going to, let's see. Okay, well done. You've both used the correct form. Are going to plus the infinitive. Let's see though about the verb. So they are going to. Alida says they're going to buy the house because it's close to work. That's for three. They are going to sell the house because it's close to work. I would say based on okay, so Sandra has now changed her verb to buy. Yes, that is correct. Buy in that context definitely is the correct answer. It makes a lot more sense. Let's see what you guys put for number four. Alida thinks it will be by future con. Don't forget, future con means future continuous, by the way. I just decided to abbreviate. Number four, Bruno says, I'll sell the house. These things work, those two things work, but whether it's buy or sell, but only if it were a future simple, not a future continuous. Look at what I've put there. It's a future continuous. So Leondina for four has said, I will be buying. We're missing the article there, but I'm going to give it to you. I'll be buying the house next year. We'll be buying a house. Yes, we could put in the article. Don't forget, guys, future continuous. Will be buying, will be selling, will be doing, whatever it might be. Okay, let's do two more of these. Alida, yeah, we'll be buying a. Okay, so let's do two more of these, okay? Okay, and six. Uh, continuous. Okay, there we go. Got there in the end. So let's see what you guys say. So Sandra, I'm going to find a new job. Yep, that works. For number five, Alida says the same thing. I'm going to get a new job. That's good. Bruno Okada, I'll be I see what you're going for there, Bruno. I'm just going to look at this one last thing, actually. Bruno, I'll make sure everyone knows what the future continuous is. Leondina says, I'm going to look for a new job. That works as well. So I just want to, let's see what you guys put for the last one, because I think that, don't forget, guys, if you are going to use will, and you're talking about the future continuous, you need be and then your verb ing. So Bruno, if you say, I'll be getting a new car, for example, I'll be getting a new car, or I'll be getting a new job, and you do will be getting, that is a future continuous. That is a future continuous. If it's going to be present, then you need I am getting a new car, for example. Okay, 6, you guys are, yep, that's correct. We'll be looking is the correct answer. So I just want to make this absolutely clear, guys, so we don't end up being confused. She will be looking for a new car, says Sandra. That is the correct answer as well. So just to summarize, okay, I'll say this again. So present continuous, okay? Don't forget, guys, it's be, so it's be plus verb ing, verb ing, such as I am flying to Rome. I'm flying to Rome next. I'm flying to Rome tomorrow morning. Okay, so that is the plan. I'm flying to Rome tomorrow morning. So your other form of the present continuous, but specifically be going to plus infinitive form reads as I am going to go to Rome next month. Okay, so those are your two forms of the present continuous that you need to know about. I'm going to, in this case, be going to plus infinitive form. I'm going to go to Rome next month. And that's when we're talking about plans, for example. We've got future simple. Okay, and this is where we have I will I will watch the film later. Okay, I will watch the film later. And finally, you've got the future continuous, continuous, which is the will plus be, be plus verb ing, such as I will be flying to, well, let's not go with flying. I've already used that. I will be studying later. Okay, so those are your forms that you need to know about, the must-know forms that you need to know about, okay, when you are writing your main future forms. Now, there are other future forms, and like I've said, the information here that we've looked at today, it's good for pre-intermediates, it's good for intermediates, it's good for upper intermediates. So B1 level, B2 level, everything there, it's good for all three levels. And at AM Language, we use National Geographic Outcomes, which is a great book, and that is the type. That's the book that teachers work off. And this is the sort of grammar that you would learn as you go through the different levels. Like I said, there's stuff here for pre-intermediate and there's stuff here for upper intermediate. Sandra says, thanks. That is so useful. You're welcome, Sandra. So there's something for everybody here. And what I would like you guys to do is just finish off. Tell me what your tell me a prediction, or give me a prediction and give me a plan for later. So I'm going to give you my plan for the rest of the day, and I'm also going to give you something of more of a prediction. So my plan is I'm going to read this afternoon. So that's my plan. You can see that I'm going to read this afternoon. You can see there, because at the moment I get distracted a little bit easily. So I want this to be 100%. It is my plan, but I know there's always a slight possibility that this might not happen. So I'm going to put in be going to plus the infinitive form. My prediction as well. What am I going to predict? I'm going to predict, let's say it will rain tomorrow. So that's going to be my prediction. I'm going to use a future simple for this one. It will rain tomorrow. Alida says, I'm using Outcomes at the moment. Yep, it's a great book, Outcomes, by National Geographic. And the really good thing about what I would say is, and this is a really important thing in terms of teaching, and this is something I'm happy to say. The teachers at AM, we are very lucky. We've got some really good teachers, and the teachers know how to bring that book to life. So you can learn when you go through the book. You can do a lot of studying on your own, but there's another sort of, I would say, you can maybe learn about 30%. 30% of learning could happen just by looking at the book, but there's another 70% that you learn because of the teacher. And the teacher's job is to bring that book to life in general English, because this is the book we use in general English. And some teachers are fantastic at bringing the book to life. And some teachers have, like, I would say it's an art. Some teachers really know how to make it colorful, and it's about sharing the language. And I think that's one of the really important things when for students to be happy. And it's a key element of teaching. It's not just learning a language. The teacher doesn't just teach the language. The teacher has to share the language. It's a sharing culture. It's sharing ideas at the same time. And the best teachers are the ones who will always not just teach the language, they'll share the language. And at AM Language, we are lucky to have a good number of teachers who really have experience at knowing how to share the language, which is so important. So that's a great thing as well. And that's why I say you can never get the full experience without the physical classroom, without the actual teacher there. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Thank you so much for participating in today's lesson. I will be back tomorrow, as always, at 4 o'clock with another live lesson. And a lot more information as well. I hope you liked the lesson today. If you liked the lesson, put a like on the video. And as always, if you're new, please subscribe and share the channel and share the videos as well, as we can see our community growing. We're nearly up. We're subscribers wise, we're growing, which is excellent. I'm hoping that by the end of the month, if by the end of the month we have 500 subscribers, that will be great. So help us get 500 subscribers by the end of the month. Bruno says, thanks for the lesson. You're welcome, Bruno. Leondina says, I'm working this evening, but I won't work too hard. Okay, so there's your plan. Alida says, thanks for sharing your language. You're welcome, Alida. You're very welcome. Sandra says, good evening. You too, Sandra. Thank you for watching. Evelina says, bye. Ciao, Evelina. And Leondina says, thank you. Grazie, Leondina. That's my Italian. So have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow at the same time at 4 o'clock. Thank you ever so much, and bye for now. Sandra says, al Wiedersehen. Al Wiedersehen. I read it right. I think I read it correctly. Al Wiedersehen. That's actually a nice word, to be honest. That's a lovely word. Al Wiedersehen, if I'm not mistaken, means bye. I think it's the equivalent in English for saying bye for now, because I will see you again. So I think it's that type of meaning. And Irina says, thank you. Well, thank you as well, guys. A big thank you to all of you today who participated in the lesson. There were a lot of you, so I'm not going to go through each and every one of you, but thank you very much. And Bruno Okada says, arigato. Arigato, I think I've said it right, which I think is Japanese for bye, I think. Maybe it's bye. Arigato. Okay, I'm going to go with that. So, guys, bye for now. And yes, Evelino, una buona serata. You too. Excellent. Bye for now. Alida says, hasta mañana. Hasta mañana. Or hasta mañana. Because the N with the little squiggle is a year sound, I think. So, hasta mañana. Hasta mañana. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. We're sharing each other's languages here, which is excellent. Okay, it means thank you. So arigato means thank you in Japanese. Lovely. Okay, guys. Excellent. Thank you for sharing your language with me as well. And bye for now.